she want to seek revenge on George Otto Gay? He was one of the head scientists at Johns Hopkins during that time, and he's the one that actually called for them to scrape her cervix. And so, or no, he's the one that actually, he's the one that found out that her cells multiplied so rapidly. He's the one that found that out, and they did that on, they did that operation on her illegally. And so I want to know, does she, like after death, like does she want to seek revenge, or did she seek revenge on him? So Egungun, did Henrietta Lacks seek revenge on George Otto Gay, or as a matter of fact, any of the other doctors, for what they did to her and her family? And let me just shuffle one more time. 8 of clubs, 6 of clubs. Yes, she does. Yeah, and yes, she has actually. 8 of clubs, 6 of clubs, though 8 is talking about karma, honestly, and lessons and restrictions. That's that Saturn energy, with that 8 right there. Yeah, this is talking about, she wanted to teach them a lesson. And I feel like she actually did, because with these clubs coming out, she actually succeeded at teaching them a lesson. Let me see. I don't know exactly what she did, but I feel like she could actually haunt them in their dreams. I was just getting ready and say that. And then boom, the 8 of diamonds found out. Like, I feel like she haunts them like in their dreams, and she wants compensation. And even if she's not haunting them, she's haunting their descendants with that 6 of clubs. She's haunting their descendants, and I know that sounds just so ooh, but she does seek revenge on them, though. She literally does, because they still have not paid her family with the 8 of diamonds, the 10 of diamonds, and even the 3 of spades. She's waiting on a payment, and then a financial payment for her family, but as well as it made her very angry with the 3 of spades. It made her very angry. I mean, obviously that they did this illegally, and then, you know, but she does, I feel like even with this 10 of diamonds, she does understand that, you know, with the wealth of medical advancements that they were able to make due to her sales, though, she does understand that part. However, at the same time, she's like, no, y'all wouldn't write the 2 of clubs. She wants them to go, she wants a payout. She wants them to go ahead and give it and pay her family what they're owed. She's wondering, like why aren't they talking about this? Like, why isn't this the topic of conversation? You know, she wants to make sure that her kids are well taken care of, her descendants. I mean, the Jack of Diamonds is talking about like her descendants, even with that 6 of clubs earlier. But she knows that it's probably not going to happen anytime soon. Yeah, she knows that it's not going to happen anytime soon, unfortunately. All right, and so I did touch on the advancements a little bit, but I do want to know more of like, what does she have to say about the advancements made in science as a result of her sales? I touched on that a little bit because it did come out in that spread, but I want to know specifically, like, how does she feel about it? So, Egungun, how does Henrietta Lacks feel about the advancements made in science as a result of her sales? Joker, 3 of clubs, 4 of clubs. She honestly feels like y'all couldn't find another way. Like, y'all couldn't find a more ethical way, you know, to go about doing it. Because with the Joker, it's just talking about like she does not appreciate the deceptive part of it, because they stole from her. Like, they literally stole from her, and now they make billions. The medical industry makes billions of dollars just off of her sales alone. And so with the 3 of clubs and then the 4 of clubs even following this reading, I mean, she knows that now. I feel like now that that she is transitioned in the spiritual world and she's able to see the advancements that have been made with the 3 of clubs, like this is talking about, like we go from the 3 to 4, like she sees the impact and the imprint that she has made on the world, but it just leaves a salty taste in her mouth still. She feels like dang, like y'all couldn't go about it another way, or like y'all couldn't figure out maybe like something like another way to come up come up with all these different vaccines and things like that, all these different medicines and things, like y'all couldn't like find a better way to for these different cures, you know what I'm saying, or just whatever the case, like y'all know what I'm trying to say. But yeah, that's kind of like her feeling right now. And once again, she wants a payout with the 4 of diamonds. She's like, but y'all ain't even, and even with the 4 of clubs, like y'all don't even like mentioning her enough in like scientific journals and like in like people's biology classes and things like that in college is not enough. 4 of clubs, like the way that they mention her, like they don't give her enough recognition. Even the name of her cells, the Gila cells, she's just like that's not enough recognition. Like, what do you mean? Like, what are you saying? I had this big imprint on the world, and this is what you do. This is what you do. And even then, the 4 of diamonds is talking about, her family, not having the financial payout that they deserve. With the 5 of hearts, that's something that, obviously, she's disgruntled about it. 5 of hearts, she's disgruntled about it, yeah. And with the 6 of clubs, just like I said earlier, she doesn't feel recognized enough, she doesn't feel like the medical community gives her enough, gives her enough honor for what it is that she did unwillingly. You know what I'm saying? That's how she feels. That is how she's feeling. And so since we asked that question, I actually want to know, so does Johns Hopkins and or any other medical organizations ever plan on compensating her family for stealing her cells? Well, the 7 of clubs popped out. No. I feel like they'd considered it before, but they're not seriously talking about it though. Like they don't care, like they're just more so concerned with, it does her bloodline. 7 of clubs, like they're researching, like I feel like they want to research her descendants, yeah, I feel like they really just want to research her descendants. With the Jack of Hearts, that's talking about her descendants. Queen of Spades are looking at her like a science project, they're being, they're just very cold and they're not interested in a payout anytime soon. 5 of Spades, King of Diamonds, no, they're not interested in a payout anytime soon. I do feel like certain family members, maybe like a male figure, or it could be a woman with just masculine energy, I feel like she could be pursuing it with the 6 of Hearts. I do feel like that she could possibly be pursuing this, or it could be a group of them. They may write in with this spades and these clubs, like they may write to Johns Hopkins often. Yeah, all this 5 energy, they're not trying to, no, they ain't trying to change in no time soon. They're not trying to compensate these people at all whatsoever. I feel like they've been trying to get compensated for this for years. Or this one male energy, this one masculine energy has been trying to get compensated for years. And the 6 of cards, and the 6 of Hearts, that's usually, the card for the fat and happy. But no, this is very sad and very unhappy. They're very frustrated and angry that they haven't gotten what what they feel they have deserved. Because like I mentioned earlier, Johns Hopkins and even other research, organizations and facilities, they're only interested in, okay, who else can we find that's just as special with this Jack of Hearts? Who else can we find that's just as special as Henrietta was? That is their main concern. They're really only out for themselves and their own selfish reasons. And they don't plan on changing that or making any moves towards that anytime soon. I do, however, feel like if people start to maybe write or maybe make like some type of petition or just start to just give Henrietta Lacks more media attention, I do see that that could spark some change. In eventually getting her wishes fulfilled. Eventually, not immediately, but eventually. But there is some masculine energy in her family, some male that is trying to get this turned around, though. He is trying to go ahead and take care of that. And so for my last question about Miss Lax, I do want to know, actually, no, my last two questions. I want to know, how does she feel about that, like the portrayal of her family in the Oprah movie? I never watched it, but there were a lot of critics, you know, in regards to that movie, and they talked about how they, how her family just had a really poor portrayal in the film, and how they made the main character, the white woman, they made her like the protagonist as opposed to making Henrietta, you know, the protagonist, which they really didn't focus on her. But like I said, I haven't watched it. That's just according to critics' reviews and things. So Egungun, how does Henrietta Lacks feel about the portrayal of her family in Oprah's Lifetime movie about her life? Or what was supposed to be about her life. Egungun, how does Henrietta Lacks feel about that? Feel about that portrayal of her? Feel about the portrayal of her family in Oprah's Lifetime movie? Okay. Two of Spades, Four of Hearts, Ace of Hearts. Brokenhearted, very disappointed. The Two of Spades is, yeah, just overall just disappointment. She feels it was a very biased, you know, perspective with the way that the movie was told. It was just very biased and even untruthful, because with this Two of Spades and this Four of Hearts pair, this is just talking about, you know, her just being very sad and broken heart, like just very angry and disappointed, you know, with how the movie played out. I feel like she expected more from Oprah, even though of course she didn't know Oprah, but you know, she knew the movie was being made and stuff like that about, you know, about her. And so, yeah, just very disappointed. I feel like she actually wants a redo, especially with this Ace of Hearts in reverse. Just very disappointed, and I actually feel like she actually wants a redo. The Jack of Diamonds, the Ace of Diamonds, yeah, she most certainly wants a redo on that film. She feels like that film did her or her family an injustice, you know, especially with that Two of Spades and that Ace of Hearts. It was an injustice to her. So I guess the reviews, yeah, are true, because with these with the Jack of Diamonds, the Ace of Diamonds, and the Four of Clubs, she's most certainly wants a new movie made. But she wants them to be Four of Spades, Three of Hearts, Jack of Clubs. She wants to make sure that it's, I feel like she may even want certain family members to portray her in this movie, or maybe for family to do the movie. If they were to do another movie, I feel like not necessarily like maybe even a movie, but just like her story retold the right way, her story retold with respect, because this Four of Spades is just talking about just overall disrespect, you know. In particular though, in the movie, she didn't like Three of Hearts. That's my card for like incest and things like that, and so she really did not like that part of the film. I feel like there was maybe a lot of that in there, or just mention of it, and she didn't want them talking about that with the Jack of Clubs. She would much rather them have talked about, focused on the stealing of her sales part, you know, like that whole journey. Like she, with that Four of Spades, like that medical apartheid type energy, like she much rather them have focused on that, and not like little other trivial things, or just things, even if they weren't trivial, stuff that she really just didn't want to get out, if that makes sense. And so now for my final question, since they do use the HeLa cells or the HeLa cells in all vaccines and diseases and things like that, or cures for diseases and things like that, I want to ask, will they use her cells to help develop a vaccine for this thing that's going around? for the C word. You know, I want to know, will they use her cells to develop a vaccine for this C word that's going around, that's had us in, you know, had us locked up, you know, for the past few months. And more so had people out of work, you know. I want to know that. And if you're enjoying this reading, or if you have enjoyed this reading, you can book a reading with me at www.voodooinstitute.com/justice. You can also subscribe to my YouTube channel. It's the Obelisk Lounge. And of course, thumbs up this video and subscribe. Will her cells help develop a coronavirus vaccine at Gungun? 10 of diamonds, Ace of clubs, 7 of clubs. Yes, they've considered it, but it's not going to work. Her, like I mentioned earlier, or like you can even just find on the internet, like they've used her cells, 10 of diamonds, for a lot of different projects, like a lot of different, you know, vaccines, like the flu vaccine, even in, you know, like different medicines, like over-the-counter medicines, not even just vaccines, or like, you know, shots and things like that, but even like pills and things. Like they've used her cells in pretty much most things that we would probably consume, as far as like, you know, like our medical needs. However, but it's not going to work with the Ace of clubs. They're still working with them with the 7 of clubs. They're still researching. I feel them like doing like some petri dish, you know, type stuff or whatever. I don't know, I'm not a scientist, but I see them doing that type of work even with the cards. Like the cards are proving that. So but it's not going to work though. They're constantly going back to the drawing board, you know, trying to develop this vaccine or whatever, for this stuff, you know, that's going around. The 4 of clubs, the Jack of spades, and the 6 of hearts though, they want to, because her sales have been so successful in the past. But I feel like, or actually in my previous reading, I remember when I mentioned them wanting to know, like, if there are other Henrietta Lacks in the world that actually have maybe even more quote unquote special sales, you know, than what she had. Because with this 6 of hearts and this Jack of spades, and even with this 7 of clubs falling out how it did, I feel like her sales may not be working, or they may not be working like for this new, you know, for maybe like for this vaccine. Like they're not strong enough. Like I'm not a scientist, so I don't know all like their lingo and things like that. But I feel like it's something with her sales though that's not like hitting the mark. You know, instead of the Ace of clubs being upright, you know, it fell out in reverse. And so it's just something that's just not hitting with her sales. And so with this 6 of hearts and even this Jack of spades, with a sneaky, messy, trifling, raggedy sales, they're looking for new people. They're looking for other opportunities. Like they're trying to find other people because they're stagnant. The work is stagnant on the vaccine. And then even not even just with that vaccine, but I'm getting the feel of like even other medicines and things like that that they're trying to develop, but it's just not taking off like they really need it to take off. And so they're on the search and they're on the move looking for other people in some shape or form, maybe even her recent descendants. But I even feel like that this may even be going outside of her bloodline, to be exact. 2 of diamonds, Jack of diamonds, and the 5 of hearts. They are gonna eventually they're not going to be her sales. Her sales may be a part of it, but I feel like that they're going to find somebody else, or they're going to find something else to go ahead and construct this vaccine the way that they need it to. I feel like they're tied in. I feel like medical organizations are tied into some type of contract though. Like they have to like use them, or even if they're not like her sales, like they have to use like certain ingredients, and her Gila cells being one of the ingredients. Like they've made that commitment, but with the 5 of hearts, it's just not working. So they're trying to make it work because like I said, her Gila cells have worked for many different other medicines and things like that. But for some reason with this vaccine, it just ain't hitting, but they gonna put it out on the market anyway. Even if it's not even effective, they gonna put it out anyway. And yeah, they are going to use it. They are going to use her cells a part of the new vaccine for this stuff that's going around right now. But it's not going to be as effective though. All right, everyone. So this is the reading on Henrietta Lacks. Like I said before, if you are interested in a private reading with me, please visit www.voodooinstitute.com/justice. If you want more readings from me, you can check out my YouTube channel, The Obelisk Lounge. Thank you guys for tuning into the reading. Bye.
So fuel my fire, take me higher, I'll be your liar too. Cause when we're here, there's nothing better than the skyline view.